What's up, everybody? This is Coach MJ, the coaching connoisseur, and I hope you had a fabulous weekend. Welcome to our Lunch and Learn for this Monday afternoon. Today, we're going to be talking about something that normally doesn't come up when I'm talking to people about starting a business. Most people have a general idea, right, that it takes money to make money, right? I think we hear that. And most people know that to start a business, you're going to have to invest some kind of money, right? Now, there are some types of businesses, and I use air quotes because some of them, I honestly, in my opinion, they're not really businesses. You're more of an independent distributor of somebody else's brand, but we're not here to debate those. But there are some businesses where you have a low cost of entry, and that means that somebody else is absorbing the risk. And so you're getting cut in on the profits, but you're not getting the full profits. What I'm talking about right now is a business that you start. It's your brand. It's your idea usually, and you are at the top of the heap. Or, franchises can be, franchises are businesses, even if it's not your original idea, but because you are investing heavily in your usage of the idea, it's a business. Because again, to start a McDonald's, it's like, I think $400,000 or something like that. And you're not even going to make a profit for a few years. Like, that's an investment, even though that's not your idea. But that's the type of business that I'm talking about. Most people know if you want to have a business, it's going to take money. And a lot of times people stop moving forward towards building their business because they know it's going to take some money to start it. And they feel like they don't have the money. Now, I do other videos, and I mention a lot of time that not seeing the money in your hand is not the same as not having it. Everything that you need, it's not possible for you to have an idea that you don't already have everything you need at your disposal, and you just need to manifest it and bring it into your hands. I have tons of videos about manifestation and all that, so we're not going to get into that. But a lot of times you may have looked at least all the ideas that you know about, and you don't have the money that you think it's going to take to start your business. Okay, that's one group of people. And notice how I accented you think, because most people who are holding back, they are guessing about how much money it's going to take to start their business. They don't really know based on any scientific or research proof what they're going to need, but they think they're going to need 30,000. They think they're going to need 10,000. They think they're going to need 80,000. They put together what they have and they don't have it. That's not who we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about a group of people who have an interesting situation because these folk actually have access to startup capital. They have a well-funded 401k. Maybe they've been working 20, 25 years and they've been funding their 401k. So they have $300,000-$400,000 sitting in there for their golden years. Of course, the way things are set up today, if you don't want to be a greeter at Walmart, no shade to greeters at Walmart, but if you don't want to end up with that, being in that situation, $300,000-$400,000 is nothing in a retirement account. But let's just say they have that. Maybe they've got $10,000, $20,000 in a savings account sitting somewhere, or in some type of other investment portfolio. Maybe they know somebody who has already told them. Maybe it's a rich uncle. Don't we all wish we had a rich uncle who has said, I will invest in you when you figure out what it is you want to do. Some of us have people like that want to invest in us. And so these individuals know that if they need to come up with some money, some heavy money, I'm not talking about $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. There's no whole lot of real businesses you can start for that and really get it to scale, right? But and there's going to be some folk that disagree with that, but I'm just telling you not what I think, but what I know, right? For the businesses that scale to the 7-figure level, you don't get away with putting in very little to get out a lot. That's not how business works. You got to put something in to get something out. So these are folk that have access to the money, but when it comes time to actually put their money where their mouth is, their actual money, not just their ideas, not just their talk, but their actual money, they fall back in fear. And I've met folk like that recently. I've met them all through the years. People who have the money, so they can't say, I can't afford it, which again, that's also a mindset trick, but they can't really say that. They'll tell you they have the money, but they still talk themselves out of moving forward. Now, a lot of times they'll say things like, oh, it's just not for me. I've decided not to move forward. It's not something that's designed for me. Even after they have admitted that this is exactly what they need. And that's because the fear stops them. That scarcity mindset, the fear mindset comes in and it swallows their dreams. They get to looking at that money and saying things like, what if it fails? What if this doesn't work? right? And so they start to focus on all the negative things, and that's what talks them out. But here's what I have found to be true, even more so than just regular old fear and scarcity talking them out of their dream. A lot of times people who are looking at a business opportunity or looking at, for example, investing in professional coaching so you can make a lot fewer mistakes in your new business, when they hear a high number, they hear $10,000, they hear $20,000, they hear whatever the figure, it could be $8,000. Most people don't have a point of reference or very many points of reference for spending that kind of money. Most people have never invested, let's say, $50,000 cash in their professional development. Now, a lot of people have gone to college, but if you're taking out student loans and the money goes behind you, you kind of think of it as it's not really money. And that's somewhere in the future. I have to worry about that. So a lot of people who have spent $100,000 on student loans for a college education are still afraid to invest $10,000 or $15,000 in learning how to build a business, which is odd to me. But that's because when they borrowed the money for school, they weren't connected to that. They didn't actually pay money to the bursar at the school. They just let the government or whoever lent them the money handle that, and they're going to worry about that in the future. Most people only have a point of reference of spending any type of large ticket item that costs more than what they make in a month or in several months as being a car. And most people understand that a car does not build value, right? There's some people that argue that, oh, I got this kind of car and it's going to be worth more. Cars lose value as soon as you drive them off the lot, right? So if you have a point of reference that says, when I spend $30,000 on something, it's not worth it, that often comes from the car mentality, for lack of a better phrase. Most people have purchased a car. Even if you bought a used car, it costs several $1,000s a lot of times. Or you may have bought a house. And a house, those appreciate. That's something tangible that you can see. And so most people have a point of reference when they think about high ticket amounts of a house. Yes, a house is worth it. I can see the house. I can live in the house. I can, rent the house out if I need to move somewhere else. I can do things with this physical house. And so it's worth it to me. But when they talk about developing themselves or investing in a business, spending money on training, spending money on equipment, spending money on inventory, and spending money on things that aren't immediately known to get a return, it can make them very squeamish because they have no point of reference. Your mind immediately goes to, if I say, I want you to give this person $30,000 cash, they're going to help you to build this business, right? And your immediate thought is, the last time I spent $30,000, it was on a car. That car has been giving me trouble. I got charged a high interest rate. It's not worth it. I think they overcharged me for cars. $30,000 is a lot of money. Whatever point of reference that you have for money is what you think is a lot of money. So if you've never spent a lot of money on yourself, besides maybe a $2,000 vacation or something like that, or maybe a wedding dress for this once in a lifetime experience, I'll put a pin in that wedding dress. I need to come back to that. But if you've only spent that kind of money, that seems like a lot of money. And so when it's time, you have the savings built up and you're looking at that, I'm going to use 401k as an example, because a lot of people have money in their 401k, but they won't use it to start their business. They look at that and say, I have this money saved up for my old age because I need to be able to live off of, and they come back to this small amount every year. It's still a scarcity mindset, even though you built up that 401k because you think that's all you have. You don't believe in yourself that you can actually make more than that. If I had $300,000-$400,000 sitting in a 401k and somebody offered me an opportunity to be able to invest $50K and make $3 million, that's a winner's gamble every single time, because you're betting on yourself and your dream. But a lot of people, you're not there yet. You feel like this is all the money I have, and if it fails, see, it's that if it fails part that gets you, because you're already focusing on it not working. And literally, the verse in the Bible is true. The book that's based off that book, that verse that I can't think of who wrote it, but as a man thinketh, literally, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And whatever you think is true is true. So if you go into a thing and you're focused on what if it doesn't work? What if they can't help me? What if I don't get customers? Then you won't. right? And I know it can seem so cliche and like a platitude to just say, if you believe it, you can achieve it, but it's just true. If you literally have in your mind success, you will attract success. If you're looking at lack and saying, well, it's not for me. I want to be smart with my money. Like, you will never have any more than that small amount because you've limited yourself to, I'm going to hang on to this. Guess what? If your finches are if your fists, I can't even talk, if your fists are clenched, not only are you hanging on to what little is in there, you can't be open to receive more. Right? If your fists are clenched, holding on to what you have, you can't be open to receive more. Just like that parable in the Bible, the person went and buried their one talent, thought that the owner would be proud that they could give them back what they gave. And they're like, no, why didn't you multiply it? You have to have your hands open to receive more. And to think that you can go into business with a scarcity mindset, that's very misleading. It can't work. You have to be open to spend your money. Your money. Don't look for a bank to give you money when you won't even spend your money. Why would they risk it on you when you won't even risk it on you, right? Now I want to go back to that wedding dress. We will have people spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000. I've heard from regular working folk on a dress that you will wear one time because you want to look good in the pictures. It's a once in a lifetime thing that you're getting married or whatever that is. And so you'll spend that kind of money on that. But you're not saying, well, some people might say, what if the marriage doesn't last? I'm not going to spend this. But the people who are spending that, you're probably not thinking about, well, what if I spend this money on this dress and then the marriage doesn't last? First of all, spending the money on the wedding does not guarantee the success or the failure of the marriage. It's just a day, right? It's an important day. It's a beautiful day, but it's just a day. It doesn't have anything to do with the success of the marriage. And most people don't base what they do with their first wedding on, notice I said their first wedding, on what they think the success of the marriage will be. They go ahead and they spend that money, yet there's no return on it at all. There's no return on having a great wedding day besides some great pictures, right? But we will go ahead and spend that money. But when it comes to a business opportunity that's going to allow you to recreate that money over and over, investing with a professional who can help you to go the path to establish your business and make a lot fewer mistakes. Not going to say you can't make any, because growing and learning is about making mistakes. I don't care how expert the coach is, your experience, you will make mistakes, but you can make a lot fewer of them and you can know how to bounce back more quickly with expert help. Just like you invested in your professional education or in your academic education to get further ahead in your career, or at least that's what they told you, by going to school, by going to college. It always amazes me, people who will tell you that they have $80,000 in student loan debt on a degree that they're not using or that they no longer want to use, but then they're squeamish about investing $15,000 or $20,000 in a solution that's going to make them money. See, degrees don't make you money. Degrees don't create wealth. They create the ability to get a job and work for somebody else and help them create wealth. No shade to jobs if you want one, but I bet you don't. That's why you're watching this video, right? Having a degree does not make you wealthy, but owning a business very well can if you know how to build it the right way. That's just a fact. So if I could tell you, if you invest $25,000 in this education, in this training, in this business opportunity, and over the course of a couple of few years, you're going to make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 or more every year, who wouldn't do that? You have worse odds than that investing in the stock market, depending on what you're investing in. And so it's all up here why you could have cash in your hand and still be unwilling to invest in you. See, it's not the business that you're really investing it in. That's what we say, but that's not what you're investing in. You're not investing in a coach. You're not investing in somebody's business idea or business training. You're investing in yourself and in your future, in your children's future, in your ability to take care of yourself and your family. If you're investing in your ability to have a life of freedom, where you don't have to worry about money every time somebody asks you, can you want to go here, or do you want to do this or that? The first consideration doesn't have to be money all the time. That's what you're investing in, your freedom. You're investing in not having to live a life of being overworked and underpaid and unappreciated at your job. Because see, that's killing you. You may be coping, or you may be trying to hide your disappointment under a bushel, but that fight that we fight as Black women in corporate America, that's a monster. If anything's risky, that is, because the lack of respect that most of you experience every single day, knowing that you could be eliminated any single day or demoted or all those things, that hanging over your head, that's the risk. Not in withdrawing some money from your 401k so that you can build a business that's going to free you from that. But again, you have to have the belief in yourself that you can do it. And you have to have the belief in yourself that you will show up coachable, that you will show up resourceful, that you will show up committed, that you will be decisive. That's what it takes to be a business owner. That's what it takes to be successful as a business owner. So when people have the cash and they're scared to invest, it's because you don't have a point of reference for spending that kind of money on yourself and it being really worth it for the long haul, outside of maybe having a house. And the other thing is that you have a scarcity mindset. Now, we hear that word a lot: scarcity, lack, fear. It's a real thing. The idea that it's going to run out and there will be no more. First of all, there's no lack of opportunity in the world. There's no lack of money in the world. There might be a temporary shortage in your bank account, but you can actually go out and actually manifest your wealth by going and getting it. Or really, it's not even over there. It's here. You just can't see it, right? It exists in you. That's why you got the idea. That's why you got the desire to do it. The desire for something can't come if the ability to manifest that desire did not exist. And that's a hard concept for people sometimes to grasp. It's like, what do you mean it's here? I just need to put it in my hand. I mean exactly that. Once you have the idea to do something, the desire to have something, the urge to become something different, that's because the opportunity is already there. That's where the idea came from. It's not that you come up with these ideas out of nothing and then the opportunity shows up. It's the other way around. The opportunity is already there. So when you're looking at your money, when you're looking at having, $50,000 in the bank, or even 15, but you have no way of making more out of that, I guarantee what you're holding on to is not going to help you to last very long. Because the people, here's how I'm going to say this. The people who have enough money saved up, like in an investment account or what have you, to actually support them in their old age, got it not by being fearful, but by expanding into abundance and taking a chance on themselves. Those of you who are unfortunately holding on to small amounts of money, and by small, I mean $100,000, $200,000, because you feel like that's all you're ever going to get, and that's my security. No, man, one good swipe of the stock market, one good recession can wipe that out. That's no money. And it can also wipe out the millions, don't get me wrong. But the point is, you can't live long off of $200,000. Wait till you get to that age. Wait till you get in your 60s and 70s and see how many few years that money will last. You owe it to yourself to make that money work for you and grow. And I don't just mean in the stock market. I mean by monetizing that expertise that you are currently giving away to your employer or giving away to people as a hobby. You can monetize that in a business that you can recreate that little money that you're hanging on to over and over and over again. Let me say it this way. If $10,000 sounds like a lot of money to you, you need to go into business for yourself. You need to make your money work for you, because it's not a lot of money. It's not. It's most people with the expenses that they have, they couldn't live 2 months off of that. So if you feel like that's a lot of money, that's exactly why you have to step into a space of abundance, a space of wealth, because you're deceived. Now, when you make $25, $35 an hour, $10,000 can sound like a lot of money. Because here's the other thing. I forgot to mention this earlier. Usually when we think about money, we think about it in terms of how long it takes us to earn it by our current experience. So if you're used to making 25, 35, 45 even dollars an hour, you automatically calculate in your mind when you hear $10,000 as how many hours you would have to work to actually not only earn that much, but be able to have that much extra, because you got to take bills out of it while you're earning it, right? And so that's why it seems like a lot. But when you get into a space where you can go to where you are an expert and people pay you $5, $7, $10,000 for your expertise after one conversation with them, so you can earn that much in an hour, you realize $10,000 is not a lot of money. It's about the rate at which you're earning it that makes it seem like a lot or a little. So if you're only earning a little bit at a time, yes, it makes you want to hold on to it. But when you step into a space where it's not about working by the hour, it's about working by the result that you help people to achieve, and so your work is worth so much more, then you're in a place of abundance where you're like, oh, $10,000 is nothing. I can earn that in an hour. I can earn that in a few hours, right? But you have to know how to do that, right? It's not just about saying, hey, people come give me money, right? That's not how it works. You have to have a problem that you can solve. You have to know who wants that problem solved, and you have to know how to help them get the results that they want. They being the people that you work with, your customers, your clients. You can do that though. One of the hardest things to get people to understand is that because your employer is willing to pay you a little bit for what you do, that should be your first clue that it must be worth more, because if it was not worth that much, like the dollar amount may be low, but they wouldn't have you at all if the value of what you do was not there. They keep you on because you're valuable to them, and they have figured out the least amount they can pay you to keep you from quitting. And sometimes that means, like Les Brown says, that you do just enough to keep from getting fired, right? Because you feel like you're underpaid. See, that game where you feel like, I ain't gonna do all that, they ain't even paying me enough. That life, no ma'am. You don't have to live that life, sis. You don't have to live like that. But you can't expect abundance in a scarcity space. And a scarcity space is usually attached to a job, because you only have 40 hours to work, and they're only going to pay you so much per hour, and there's only so many jobs in your field, and you know how hard it was for you to get to where you are, and all of that feeds scarcity. The place of abundance says everything I want is out here, and I can get it right now. Everything that I dream, everything I desire to do, my purpose, my assignment, my dream, I can have it. And not only can I have it, I do have it. I just need to claim it. It's already there for you. But you have to be willing to invest in yourself, because to learn how to become a premium priced expert, a high ticket coach, it's not going to be free. It's not going to be free. And everybody or cheap, let me add that one in. If you're looking for a free ride where somebody's going to give you the keys to wealth and abundance, but they're going to do it for free, but you're going to be able to do it and make all this money, that doesn't even make sense any more than you could get your college education for free, your house for free, your car for free. Your business development, your professional development as an entrepreneur is not going to be free, and it's not going to be cheap. Why would you be able to learn everything you need to learn about building a business, but it not cost you what it costs the person who's teaching you? Everything costs money, and that's okay. I can see people rolling their eyes at me right now. All they do is talk about money. Yes, because it takes money to live. I don't live in this house for free. You don't live in your house for free. You don't take trips for free. You can't buy cars for free. You can't take care of your aging parents for free. You can't send your kids to college for free. Everything costs. So why should your business not cost? Why should it not be worth an investment of the money you already have at your disposal to get more? If you're hanging on to $30,000, $40,000 because you're scared to lose it, but you have no way to make more, all the more reason that you need to get into business for yourself. Use that money to learn how to make more, because it's going to be gone quick. That little 100,000, that little 200,000, that's going to go fast, especially in future money. If you're about 20 years from retirement age and you got a couple $100,000 in the bank or in your retirement fund, That's going to be about 3-4 years. Unless you want to live at the poverty level, that money will last you a few years. And then what? It's a better investment to now, while you're younger, while you have this great, phenomenal expertise and these ideas for how to use it to change the world, to use that money to make more money by building a business. I'm not just talking about investing in the stock. As a matter of fact, I'm not talking about investing in the stock market. That's not my expertise. I'm talking about building that business that you have dreamed about, but then you get to the place where you could do it, and then you're like, oh, I don't want to spend that kind of money on it. Then what did you want to do? It's not going to be free. It's not going to be cheap, but it's going to be worth it. Because right now, look how much you are every day, every week, every month, every year that you go by and you're not operating in a 6 or 7 figure business space. That's how much it's really costing you. So a lot of times people don't want to invest their own cash because they don't realize how much they're already investing in not having what you want. See, there's no neutral ground. You're either spending on what you do want or you're spending on what you don't want. Every dime that you are not making following your dream, it's costing you that much. Every year that you're not making $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month, it's costing you $10, $20, and $50,000 a month to stay stuck where you are, hanging on to that little bit, not being willing to open your hand, let some of it go, let all of it go to receive the abundance. It's risky to own a business. It's never from a place of comfort. I've talked to women, they're like, well, when I get comfortable with it, then I'll do something. You're never going to do it. I'm going to just tell you flat out. Comfort is not something that business is about. It's not about comfort at all. It is about taking a chance on yourself, but not focusing on what you could lose, but everything that you can gain. So the question is, what do you really want? Do you really want it, or is it just talk? Do you really want to live that life of freedom where you can create wealth while you have complete control of your time, where you don't have to make decisions based on how much is in your bank account, but rather on how much time you have, but not time taken away from a job, but just how much time is on your calendar? Do I want to go to Spain for a month? Sure. Is it going to cost 40 grand? Yeah, but who cares? I'm going. Whatever that is, whatever that dream is. Do I want that $500,000 house? Yes. Do I have to sit and calculate what bills I have to pay to be able to afford them? No, buy the house. You want to send your kids to that private school? Do it. Because that's the best school, not because, well, let me see if I can afford it. No, you are worth more. Your family is worth more. Your future is worth more, but you have to know that. And having the ability to invest in the solution and still being unwilling to do it shows that you're not serious. Either that or you don't really know what's at stake. So if you have the cash and you're still scared to invest, you have to ask yourself, what's really going on? Do I actually believe in myself? Because that's really boils down to when people start talking about what if it fails, it's because they don't believe in what they do. So you have to have absolute conviction that you know what you know. And I know you do. Because you got melanin magic. You got black girl magic. Every hashtag, every cliche, every nickname that we have, you have that. And you shine like a diamond within the job world, except they want to keep you dull. They want to keep cheapening you down. You need to shine more brilliantly in your own empire. And you can do that. That's why I have created my Build Wealth While You Travel Challenge. It's coming up next week. Get in on this, sis. This is where you're going to get the conviction and the courage and the confidence to step into your greatness. BuildWealthWhileYouTravel.com is where you're going to get your ticket. It's a 4-day experience. Your mind is going to be blown by, first of all, most people have the experience of, I can't believe I waited this long to step into my thing, that I let the job world make me think I was secure when actually that was the riskiest thing. This is what I can do. You can take what you know right now, no certifications, no more degrees, none of that. What you are good at right now and turn it into a 6 or 7 figure coaching empire. Whether you write, whether you speak, whether you whether you like to coach people. I would not advise one-on-one because that's not as leveraged and it's not as effective. But whatever modality you want to use, whether you want to be a teacher, whatever that is, you can do that and help people to get actual solutions. You're not working by the hour anymore. You will be free to run a business from anywhere in the world, make as much money as you want to while you're helping people to get to their dreams based on whatever problem it is you solve, whether it's in health, wealth, and relationships. But you got to know how to build that kind of business. It's not something you can figure out on your own. I know I couldn't figure it out on my own. It's too many moving parts. But in the challenge that's coming up, Build Wealth While You Travel Challenge, we're going to walk you through it step by step. It's going to be a lot of information. And you will have an opportunity after that to get the details and go into the deep dive of what it's going to take to build it out over several weeks. But it starts with this 4-day challenge. And I invite you, get you a VIP ticket. The basic economy tickets, they are available. The fee has been waived on those, but I invite you to get the $47 VIP enrollment. That's cheaper than a date night, right? You go out for dinner with 2 people, you're spending more than $47 on that, right? Invest in your business. Invest in your 5-star lifestyle. Invest in your 4-diamond lifestyle, whatever you want to call what you want to have. Invest in yourself. Spend this time with us over the 4-day challenge and watch your life change. So again, go to buildwealthwhileyoutravel.com. Get your ticket. We're going to cap it at 100 people this time to keep the numbers low. But get your seat in this challenge. Don't wait. Don't say, I'll get it tomorrow. I'll get it next week. I'll see. Who in the world says I'll see on their dream? If you are serious, now look, I always say this. This is not for, I'm just curious. I'm just looking for free information. There will be some free information there, but that's not what this is about. This is about you stepping up and building the business that you say that you want, to have the lifestyle that you say that you want. It's not about what I do. It's about what you do with what I tell you. It's about what you do with what I show you. So again, I'm not looking for looky-loos. If you're just curious, this isn't for you. I'm looking for people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, who are warriors in disguise. You just haven't had the right outlet for all of the greatness that's within you. And you are sick and tired of being denied, and you're ready now. I'm looking for people who are ready now. Get in this challenge and watch your life change. BuildWealthWhileYouTravel.com is where you get your ticket. We start on November 15th. I look forward to meeting you and guiding you through this journey. I will talk to you at our next Lunch and Learn Meeting. I'll get your ticket. The time for you to step into your greatness is now. It's never going to get any easier. It might be scary. It might be a little, I don't know. Do it anyway, because that's all entrepreneurship is about. Feeling the fear and doing it anyway to have the life of your dreams. I look forward to talking to you next time. Take care. Get your ticket, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.